Today, we'll model a cute stylized mushroom in Blender. Fast, fun, and beginner-friendly. Let's get started. Press 1 on the numpad for front view. Select the camera and the light in the default scene and delete them. We'll keep the cube. This will be our little mushroom character. Press period key on numpad to focus on the cube. Press tab to enter edit mode. Add a control loop. Press Ctrl plus R, click to confirm. Bevel that loop with Ctrl plus B to give the head a softer ridge. Small bevels catch light and make shapes read better. Now toggle X-ray. Press Alt plus Z so we can reach the back vertices. Select the bottom loop cut. Press G, Z, and move it down slightly. Press S to scale that loop down a bit. This tightens the waist area. Bevel it with Ctrl plus B for a smooth transition. Select the next bottom loop. Press S and scale it down a touch. While that loop is still selected, Shift plus Alt, click the top loop to select it too. Press Ctrl plus B and bevel both loops together. This keeps the silhouette consistent, very important for stylized characters. Great. Let's shape the top and bottom. Select the top vertices, press G, Z, and lift them up a little. Then press S to scale them in slightly. This gives a cute dome for the mushroom cap. Select the bottom vertices and press S to scale them down a little. That makes a nice base so the character won't look like a floating balloon. That completes our base shape. Small tweaks here make the silhouette read instantly. Final step for smoothness, go to the Modifier tab, search Subdivision Surface, and add it. Nice! Subdivision makes everything soft and mushroomy. Let's give our character arms and legs. First, apply the modifier you just added. Hover over the modifier and press Ctrl plus A to apply it. This locks the shape so we can work on details. Our character is perfectly symmetrical, so let's use Auto Mirror to save typing. Press N to open the side panel. Click Edit. If you don't see Auto Mirror, enable it in Edit Preferences add-ons first. Expand Auto Mirror and click the Auto Mirror button. Now, anything we model on one side appears on the other. Magical symmetry. Switch to side view with numpad 3. Press 3 for face select. Select these 4 faces where the arm will be. Press I to inset them. Inset creates the base for the arm and keeps topology tidy. Right-click and choose Loop Tools Circle to round the inset. If Loop Tools is missing, enable it in add-ons like you did for Auto Mirror. Scale the circle down a little with S to narrow the arm root. Go to Front View. Press S if you need to scale the selection a touch, then G to grab and move it into position. Press X to Faces to delete the selected faces. This opens the hole for the arm geometry. Loop select the arm edge loop. Press S and scale it in a bit so the arm will sit snug against the body. Now extrude the arm. Press E, rotate with R, and move with G to bend the arm into place. Press F to fill any end caps. Finish the edge by pressing Ctrl plus B to bevel it slightly. Bevels catch light and read better in render. And that's the arms for now. Quick, simple, and symmetrical, just like we like it. Hint, keep the auto mirror active until you're happy with both sides. Then you can apply it later. Let's make the legs. Select the 2 faces at the bottom where the legs will be. Press I to inset them. This gives a nice ring to build from. Press S to scale the inset down a little. Press X faces to delete them. Now we have openings for the legs. Loop select the leg rim, right-click and choose Loop Tools Circle to make the whole round. Switch to Front View and press G to move the circle into position. Press E plus Z to extrude the leg downward a bit. This starts the leg shaft. Press F to fill the end if needed. Press Ctrl plus B to bevel the edge slightly so it reads nicely in the render. Toggle X-ray with Alt plus Z and press 1 to go to Vertex Select. Box select the leg vertices and press S to scale them up a bit. Move and tweak these vertices until the legs read well from all angles. Small nudges make a big difference. Now add smoothness. Press Ctrl plus 2 to add a subdivision surface modifier level 2. Go back into edit mode and use X-ray to refine the leg shape by moving vertices. This is the time to make subtle corrections while the subdivision is visible. For the arm ends, select the two edge loops at the tips. Press S to scale them up a bit and move them into position. Add a Ctrl+R loop cut at the middle if you need extra control, then R to rotate that section for a nicer flow. Amazing! Right-click and choose Shade Smooth so the whole character looks soft and friendly. Let's add the eye. Press Shift-A and choose Mesh UV Sphere. In the bottom left operator panel, set Segments and Rings to 8. This keeps the mesh low poly and easy to edit. You can change these values in Operator panel while Blender is still active. Once you switch to another tool, the options for a view sphere disappear and you can't access them again. Press S to scale the sphere down to eye size. Smooth it a bit. Press Ctrl+2 to add 2 levels of subdivision surface. Then press S and Z and squash it slightly on the Z-axis so it reads more like a cute eye than a ping-pong ball. Now we want the eye to stick to the face perfectly. Enable snapping. Click the magnet icon. Open the snapping drop-down and choose Face/Project mode. Turn on Align Rotation to Target so the eye matches the surface angle, and enable Backface Culling if you like. It helps with placement checks. With snapping on, press G and move the eye onto the head. It should hug the surface like a tiny, clingy friend. Fine-tune the placement. Press S to scale if it needs to be smaller. Then press G to nudge it into the perfect spot. Right-click and choose Shade Smooth so the eye looks soft in render. Let's mirror it. In the Modifier tab, add a Mirror modifier and set the mirror object to the body. Now the second eye appears automatically on the other side, much faster than copying with 2 hands. Once both eyes are visible, move them into better positions so the expression reads cute and balanced. Now for cheeks. Duplicating is faster than modeling. Select an eye and press Shift-D to duplicate it. Move the duplicate down near the mouth to act as a cheek. Press S to scale it down a little. To flatten it a bit along the local Z-axis, press S-Z-Z. This squashes the cheek so it reads as a soft bump, not a full sphere. Instant cuteness boost. That's it. Eyes in place and cheeks added. Tiny details, huge personality.
All right, time to give our mushroom buddy a mouth, because a character without a mouth can't gossip. And what's the point of living then? Press Shift-A, Mesh, Cube. Scale it down nice and tiny, move it forward under the eyes where a mouth belongs. Squash it a little by pressing S plus Shift plus X to scale without affecting the X-axis. Then apply rotation and scale. Ctrl-A, apply, rotation, and scale, so Blender doesn't get confused later. Jump in the edit mode. Add a loop cut, Ctrl-R, across the cube, and scale it up slightly. This widens the smile area. Add another loop cut through the middle, then press G-Z to pull it down, and suddenly, we've got the start of a cute smile curve. Back in object mode, smooth it up. Press Ctrl-2 for a subdivision surface modifier. Return to edit mode, select the middle loop, and Ctrl-B to bevel it. Scroll your mouse wheel for about 3 cuts so it's nice and rounded. Press A to select all, then G, Z to move the whole shape up so the origin point stays centered. Back to object mode, scale it thin with S, X, stretch it taller with S, Z, and move it into place with G, Z. From the side view, press G, Y to nudge it forward, then rotate it a little so it hugs the face. Finish by right-clicking Shade Smooth. Boom! We've got ourselves a smile that even Pixar would say, not bad. Now, let's decorate the mushroom cap with bumps. Select one of the eyes. Yep, recycling parts again. Turn snapping, the magnet, back on. Press Shift-D to duplicate the eye and move it up onto the mushroom head. Scale it bigger with S. There's your first bump. Since we already had a mirror modifier, Blender does the heavy lifting, but let's crank it up. Enable mirroring on both X and Y axes. Now bumps are auto-spawning like Pokemon. To add variation, Alt-D to duplicate the bump. Move it next to the first one. Flatten it a little along its local Z with S-Z-Z. Duplicate again with Alt-D. Scale it down with S. Boom! 3 bump sizes. Now just keep sprinkling them around the cap like you're decorating a cake. The more uneven they are, the cuter it looks. Controlled chaos, mushroom style.
All right, time to bring our little buddy to life with some materials. Up in the top right corner, switch your viewport to Material Preview so you can actually see what's happening. Then, drag the bottom panel up and switch it from Timeline to the Shader Editor. Pro tip, make sure you've got the Node Wrangler add-on activated. It saves a ton of time. Let's start with the body. Go into Edit mode, select an edge loop, then press G to slide it closer to the edge. Hit Ctrl+E and choose Mark Seam. That's Blender's way of telling us where to cut things, kind of like giving our mesh a zipper. Now for the fun part, a gradient color. Press Shift+A and add a Separate XYZ node. Then use Ctrl+T, thanks to Node Wrangler magic, to add the Texture Coordinate and Mapping nodes. Delete the Image Texture node. We don't need it. Connect the Mapping node to the Separate XYZ. Grab the Z output and just drag it into empty space. A search panel will pop up like Blender saying, "What do you want, boss?" Type in Color Ramp. Connect that color ramp to the base color. Change the left handle to a dark red-brown and the right handle to a light yellow. Now you've got a nice bottom-to-top gradient. For the top of the body, go back into Edit mode, hover over the head, press L to select Linked Geometry. In the material slots, hit plus to add a new slot, then click Assign. Hit New, choose a dark red and reduce the roughness so it's a bit shinier. For the bumps, select one, hit New, and use a light yellow as the base color. For the eyes, click New, go full black and reduce the roughness, shiny little pupils of doom. For the cheeks, from the drop-down, grab that same red we used on the head. And for the mouth, select it and give it the same dark material we used for the eyes. Simple and consistent. Boom! Now your character isn't just a mesh, it's got personality. And yes, it also looks like it's ready to star in a Saturday morning cartoon.
All right, time to make this little mushroom look like it belongs in an art gallery, or at least a Pixar short. First, let's set up a camera. Press Shift+A, add a camera, then hit 0 on the numpad to jump straight into the camera view. To move it around easily, go up to View, Navigation, Walk Navigation. Now you can use WASD, like in a video game, to line up your shot. Basically, you're playing Call of Duty Mushroom Edition. If you're not into walking mode, no worries. You can also just tweak the location and rotation values from the item panel while the camera's selected. Now, render settings. Head over to Render tab, switch from Eevee to Cycles because we want those fancy light bounces. Set it from CPU to GPU if your system allows it. It's like strapping a turbo engine to Blender. For viewport samples, I keep it super low at 8 just so I can orbit around without Blender crying, but for the final render, crank it up to 512 samples and keep denoise on. Oh, and under color management, set the look to medium-high contrast. Trust me, it instantly makes things pop like an Instagram filter. Lighting time. Switch to render viewport so you can actually see the magic. Press Shift+A, add an area light, and plop it on the top right side. Rotate it toward the mushroom, bump up the power, then hit 7 on the numpad to go to top view. Scale it up, move it forward a bit, and adjust the rotation until your mushroom looks like it's posing for a Vogue cover. Next, Shift-D to duplicate that light, drag it to the left side, rotate it toward the character, scale it up, and position it nicely. This balances things out so it doesn't look like our mushroom is telling ghost stories with a flashlight under its chin. Finally, grab the first light again, go to top view, duplicate it once more, and place it behind the character for a backlight. Hit Alt-R to clear all rotations, then press R90 to point it at the mushroom. Back in camera view, or 0 on the numpad, change the spread of this backlight from 180 down to around 15, or even lower. Then just fine-tune the position and rotation until you find that sweet cinematic glow. Boom! Professional 3-point lighting. Your mushroom now has its own headshot portfolio. And that's our happy little mushroom. Done and adorable. If this helped you, please hit like. Leave a comment and tell me what to model next. Surprise me! If you're not subscribed yet, tap subscribe so you don't miss more fun Blender projects. Thanks for watching. Until the next time, happy blending!